Hello everyone, happy Saturday morning to you. I just wanted to hop on here real quick just to give some meal prepping tips to you all because I know a lot of us are doing 80-day obsession, and honestly that's a little bit harder program to meal prep for, so I figured if this could work for the ladies that are doing that, this could work for everyone. So because 80-day obsession has us eating super early in the morning and then every 2 to 3 hours after that, I am going to give you some tips to just really simplify and make meal prepping for that many meals and that much food a little bit easier. So what I would suggest is first find the meals, which are usually your pre and post-workout meals, the meals that are toughest for you to plan for. Maybe you're more on the go, whatever the case may be, and plan those first and prep for those first. So for me, mine is my pre-workout meal, which is at 5:30 in the morning, and what I have found works best, I'm switching it up just a little bit this week, is to take either wraps or sandwiches and put them in foil wrap. So all I have to do is literally grab in the fridge, grab it out, and then eat it, okay? The past 2 weeks I have done wraps, so my container counts are a carb, a protein, a veggie, a fruit, and a teaspoon or tablespoon, whatever. So this week I'm switching it up, and I got these whole wheat sandwich things, and I think there's 8 in here. So if I make these all in foil, I'll have enough for the whole next week, and then maybe have one left over for my daughter to have. What I'm going to do this week, the past 2 weeks, 1 week I did lunch meat with cooked down or wilted in olive oil mixed greens with lunch meat, and then I just had fruit on the side. This week, or last week, what I did is I did uncured turkey bacon, and then I added sliced bell peppers and then salsa, because store-bought salsa counts as a fruit. It doesn't matter what's in it, it just counts as a fruit because it's heavily consists of like a little bit processed tomatoes. This week what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these whole wheat sandwiches, so they're thin, so they're easy to wrap in foil, and then I'm going to fry eggs so that they turn out, or I might poach them so they turn out like in a kind of round shape, and then I'm just going to cook down some greens once again, or I'm going to cook down some greens, and then I might add salsa in with those greens, and then have those on a sandwich, wrap them in foil, so all I have to do is grab and go. Because I'm eating my pre-workout meal on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I am eating that as soon as I get done with my insanity class, because I found if I eat it before, then I burn through that fuel and I don't have it for my workout once I get home. So I eat like a little bit of fruit before I go in to teach my class, and then have that. I actually take it with me and I just eat it as soon as I'm done with that class. So that's what I'm doing for my pre-workout meal. My post-workout meal, which is my next most hectic time of day, because I'm teaching insanity Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Then I come home, do my workout, and amidst that, I'm having to get 2 kids ready, myself ready, get my post-workout supplement, post-workout meal, all of that, and then back out the door by like 9:20 every morning. So it's a little chaotic. So what I do is I get out my huge wok, or if you have like a big saucepan or something, and just cook a bunch of stuff together. I've done eggs. I've done pork sausage with the eggs, because I'm supposed to have 2 reds, 2 proteins, a veggie, and a carb. And then a teaspoon, so obviously I cook it in oil. But this week what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a whole dozen of eggs, because that will last me, because 2 large eggs equals 1 red, a whole bunch of eggs, and then I'm going to do torn up lunch meat and put that in there. Actually, no, that's what I'm doing for my pre-workout meal. I'm doing 1 egg and then a couple pieces of fried lunch meat and putting them on that sandwich. Doing that with a whole bunch of diced up sweet potatoes, and then I'm going to do greens, or I might do bell peppers, or I might shred some zucchini, and then eggs and sausage. So all of that is going to be my post-workout meal. Then from there, I think what makes it easiest in the meals that aren't in your workout blocks is, and what I would suggest, is either steaming or roasting like a huge container or a huge pan of vegetables, because we are eating vegetables at pretty much every meal. That way you have some cooked veggies. Even if you don't get a chance to reheat them, cooking is still a little bit easier to digest and to eat than raw. So having those readily available, like broccoli is really good roasted, asparagus is good roasted, sweet potatoes, regular potatoes, green beans, cauliflower, any of that stuff is really easy to roast on a big, huge pan. Then you would have enough all week. Another thing I would suggest doing is batch cooking or bulk cooking, like quinoa, or if you have a rice cooker, cooking brown rice. Anything like that that you can just add into any meals as you need to. And then just for the little things that you have, like everyone gets one blue container of a healthy fat. So whether you want that to be hummus, whether you want it to be cheese, avocado, whatever, just pack that with you for the day. Because I really don't use my big containers much. It's more my little containers that I use. So that's kind of what I've been doing. And then even just, I don't fully plan out my dinners because sometimes things happen and we switch up our meals. So I just have some ideas for dinners, and then I'm either thawing out all those meats for dinners. I'm pre-cooking things like chicken. I'm pre-cooking. This week I'm going to make fixate sloppy joes, and if you guys want that recipe, let me know, because it's either ground turkey or extra lean ground beef. And actually, no, I'm not going to make those because they're not approved for this program. But I'm going to do something like that where I'm just cooking a bunch of lean meat that I can just throw in with quinoa and veggies and stuff like that. So that's what I would suggest, is just doing the meals that are the hardest for you to get in, which for most people it's in the morning because that's when we're the most chaotic. Having those prepped ahead of time, and either putting them in a big container, separating them out, or doing the foil wrap sandwiches or wraps and things like that. Next thing is just bulk cooking a bunch of ground turkey with seasoning that would work for just about anything. Baking chicken breasts. What I suggest doing for chicken breasts is to put a little bit of chicken broth in the bottom of the pan, or even water, just to make sure that it helps keep it moist. And I don't fully cook my chicken breasts, pretty much, but since I'm going to reheat them in the microwave later, I leave them not fully cooked so they don't dry out. That way when I reheat them, it cooks them the rest of the way. So doing things like that, and then roasting a bunch of veggies, cooking a bunch of quinoa, a bunch of rice, things like that, a bunch of sweet potatoes, roasted regular potatoes, whatever the case may be, just doing that and then using that to build your meals. Because especially with 80-day obsession, our meals are a little bit different. Mixing and matching fruits and veggies and proteins is a little bit unnatural. It should be becoming easier, but that's just my best tip. And then just washing a bunch of fruits and vegetables. Fruits, we really aren't having those cooked, so just having those that you can grab and take with you to work or whatever you are needing to do. Melissa, I've been eating my sandwiches cold when I'm out. When I'm home, because they're in foil, I can just pop them in my toaster oven and then take them out. And even though I'm not fully cooking them, because it's actually easier for me to eat them cold that early in the morning. They're really easy to just pop in there. I don't even have to take them out of the foil and pull them out and then eat them. The nice thing about the foil is you can unwrap it, and like if you're needing to eat it like on the go while you're running after your kids, like I sometimes do, it's super easy. So those are just kind of some of my tips to help you all. I know this is mostly geared toward 80-day obsession, but honestly, any of you guys can use these tips. So if you all have any more questions, post them in the comments below. Otherwise, I think my post-workout meal is finally cool enough for me to eat. I microwaved it right before I hopped on, and Mama is hungry. So I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.